Reloading a revolver in a real-world fight isn't just tricky, it's damn near brutal if you're not trained for it. Speed matters, but so does concealment, and that's where most gear falls short. So, what if there was a way to carry a full 6-round speed loader without printing, bulging, or fumbling around in your pocket? In this video, we'll talk about the top 8 revolver speed loaders that actually make sense for concealed carry. We're talking about loaders that won't jab your ribs, won't spill their guts when dropped, and won't slow you down when your 6-gun runs dry. You'll recognize old classics like the HKS, a couple of tried-and-true duty rigs like the Safari Land Comps, and a newcomer that folds flat like a credit card but reloads with the kind of speed that'll make you do a double-take. If you caught our breakdown on why the 38 Special is making a comeback, then you're probably curious about the Rapid Speed Loader system. It's part of what pushed us to put this list together in the first place. But it's not just about the Rapid. We've logged real-world reload times, tested drop performance, and paid close attention to how each one carries under a flannel or jacket. If you've ever left your wheel gun behind because the reload gear felt like a brick riding your hip, hang around. This just might change the way you carry from here on out. The Revision CV ammo pod reminds me of those no-nonsense pocket knives we all carried before folders went tactical. It's a molded polymer pod with an inline push button in the center. When you press the button against the cylinder's pin, the 6 rounds release together, gravity doing the rest. On paper, that sounds slick, yet out here it behaves more like a reliable generalist than a race gun. Average reloads hover at 5:45 seconds, with my cleanest run registering 4:35 and a worst of 8 flat when the center stem over-traveled and the rounds hesitated. It retails between $20 and $25, so anyone with a J-frame or Detective Special can pick up a pair without skipping a grocery run. The pod's main draw for concealed carry is its trim waistline. In a soft leather pouch, it rides nearly as flat as a money clip, meaning it won't puff your belt line like a traditional drum. Compatibility is the rub. Smith & Wesson J-frames, Ruger SP101s, and a handful of analogs. Nothing else. For many of us, that's enough. Spend 30 minutes working the motion and the pin-length annoyance settles down. The press becomes instinctive, and you quit losing time hunting for that sweet spot. If a friend asks me for a starter loader that disappears under a flannel shirt, the Revision CV is where the conversation begins, provided his wheel gun fits the mold. Patchmare's aluminum competition loader earns its place by mixing metal durability with slimmer carry. CNC-cut aluminum walls form a subtle polygon that shaves corners, trimming the belly of a standard round loader that shows under a T. The release knob is oversized and knurled, turning counterclockwise to drop rounds. Out on the timer, the knob matters. I clock an average 4:85 seconds, with a personal best of 4:11 and a couple of ugly 7s when I failed to twist fully. The trick is lubrication. A light spritz of dry lube on the post eliminates the stiff turn syndrome that costs seconds in cartridges. Expect to pay $32.50 on most shelves. That lands midway between bargain plastic and spring-loaded racers, which feels fair once you handle the thing. Because the body hugs contours better than a round HKS, it rides closer to the hip and prints less beneath cotton. Still, it can spit around if the cylinder isn't perfectly vertical. Practice cures most of that. With the Patchmare in a jock's pouch, my Security 6 conceals confidently under an untucked work shirt while giving me metal-on-metal assurance against gravel, dirt, or winter wet. If steel strength and reduced bulk matter more to you than shaving tenths, this loader deserves room on the belt. To me, this 5-star loader looks like it rolled off a billet lathe, then tumbled smooth. Aircraft-grade aluminum, bright anodized finish, and relief cuts between each chamber give it a premium feel. Those cuts are more than cosmetic. They provide space for fat finger grips and thick target stocks. Twist the top clockwise to release. My average reload lands at 5:39 seconds. Fastest run, 4:18, slowest 7:24 when I rush the alignment. Price hovers between $20 and $25, around double the HKS price, yet still well below spring assist loaders. The extra money buys broad compatibility. Unlike most brands, 5-star machines loaders for 32s, 41s, the big 460 line, even Taurus Judges in 410. If you tinker with oddball revolvers, you'll appreciate never being shut out. For daily carry, the 5-star carries taller than plastic units and a hair wider than the Patchmare, so choose a pouch with retention screws to keep it tight. Drop tests show reliable shell retention, which matters if you stumble on scree or get shoved in a doorway. Twisting a slick aluminum knob under adrenaline takes acclimation, yet after a week of dry runs by the wood stove, the movement banks in muscle memory. For hunters who pack a 41 mag Blackhawk in the hills, or anyone whose kit strays from mainstream calibers, this loader is the dependable middleweight. Every deer camp coffee pot has at least one HKS rattling around the lid because they've been in production since disco. This plastic and steel veteran uses a clockwise twist to release and costs $10 to $15. As far as speed numbers, they're quite respectable. Average 440 seconds, fastest 390, slowest 490. Consistency is the hidden virtue. 9 of my 13 runs are grouped within a quarter second. The shallow learning curve explains why rookies favor it, but concealment is its weakness. A round, inch-and-a-half drum on the belt looks like a film canister taped under your jacket. It can be somewhat mitigated with a pancake pouch that holds it tight against the body, though printing never truly vanishes under thin summer fabric. Drop tests are a coin toss. 2 of 3 survived the fall, 1 spewed everything across the concrete. With prices in the $12 range, spares are cheap, so I stash extras in the truck console and hunting pack. If you carry a revolver as a backup or bump-around ranch gun and want a loader that just works without draining the ammo budget, the HKS remains the faithful option. Put in reps twisting that knob until the action runs on autopilot, and it will serve you better than flashier gear you rarely train with. Safariland designed the Comp 2 for duty holsters when wheel guns still patrolled squad cars, and the engineering holds up. Instead of twisting, you shove the loader straight against the cylinder. 6 rounds click home instantly. On the timer, this push release averages 430 seconds, best of 356, worst 529. The flat top keeps height in check, letting it ride lower in a carrier and snag less on chair arms. Street price runs $16 to $20, which feels like stealing given its track record. Molded polymer with a steel center post shrugs off grit, rain, and glove abuse. Concealed carry appeal comes from compact diameter, 153 inches on my K-frame model, barely wider than the cylinder itself. My only gripe is availability. If your revolver strays outside Smith & Wesson K or L frames, or their Ruger and Taurus cousins, you're out of luck. For those of us who towed a Model 19 beneath a plaid shirt while stalking ridges, that limitation vanishes. Press, twist the wrist slightly, close the gun, and you're back in the fight. For urban EDC, the Comp 2 balances speed with a belt footprint small enough to vanish under fleece, making it the loader I recommend to new carriers running classic service revolvers. Imported from Austria, the jet loader behaves like a coiled spring trap. You thumb a side latch to set it, seat rounds. Then when you drive the post into the cylinder, the internal spring slams cartridges home under force. That energy lets it ignore gravity, dirt, even a slightly canted gun. My chronograph of reloads shows an average of 411 seconds, with a personal best of 368 and a slow of 470. Those numbers came after a single afternoon's practice, proving its ceiling is high. The price lands in the $30 to $35 range, and compatibility sticks to Smith & Wesson K, L, and J frames plus equivalent Rugers. The spring action means extra height, 294 inches in L-frame trim, so choose your cover garment wisely. Under a canvas game jacket or winter parka, it disappears. Under a tight polo, it telegraphs. Drop it top down and you risk dumping rounds. 2 of 3 drop tests ended that way, so it earns a slot on the belt, not the pocket. Where the jet loader shines is in adverse field conditions. When elk quarterbags put blood and pine needles on my gloves, I don't trust gravity. The jet loader's punch seating puts 6 fresh 357s into the cylinder, even when the gun points downhill. Hunters and wilderness guides who rank reliability just under speed should keep 1 clip to the belt. Safariland's Comp 3 is the younger, faster sibling of the Comp 2, bred for PPC matches. A long polymer handle houses a beefy compression spring. You grasp the handle like a flashlight, align, push, and 6 rounds rocket into place. Average reloads clock 456 seconds, fastest 370, slowest 650 when my coat snagged the oversized handle. The price is surprisingly mild at $21.60, yet size is the compromise. The handle raises the overall height to nearly 3 inches and widens the silhouette, making inside the waistband carry unrealistic. I reserve the Comp 3 for winter hikes or range days where a jacket masks its presence. Duty officers who still rock wheel guns on the belt will appreciate its near-foolproof operation under stress. Slam and go. Drop tests mirror the jet loader's weakness. A top impact can jolt the spring and scatter ammo. Still, in a purpose-built pouch and with deliberate practice, the Comp 3 achieves some of the fastest real-world times I've recorded. When speed is life and concealment matters less, think competition stages, backcountry bear territory, or security work under a parka, the Comp 3 earns its keep. The Castac Rapid breaks every rule we thought governed Revolver reloaders. This thing is as flat as a credit card wallet and rides horizontal in a vegetable-tanned leather sheath, hugging the belt so closely that even a fitted tee hides it. The body is nickel-plated high-carbon steel. The pull loop is stainless steel. You peel it free, tug the loop, and the strip curls into a circle, aligning 6 rounds. Pivot, insert, and snap the wrist. Cartridges drop as one. On my timer, the Rapid averages 5.1 seconds, with a brisk 4.7 on the best run and 6.6 when my fingers hesitated on the loop. That speed trails the spring loaders, yet nothing else merges concealment, durability, and full cylinder capacity. Cost sits comfortably between $20 and $25 for the loader alone, or $49.99 bundled with the leather flat holster. Material choice means sweat, rain, and salt water can't pit the surfaces, and the leather pouch doubles as a speed strip carrier if you want redundancy. Compatibility covers most 6-shot 38 or 357 revolvers from Smith & Wesson K-frames to Ruger GP100, though it refuses to mate with the Kimber K6S. The learning curve feels odd for the first dozen repetitions, after which the motion resembles running a speed strip, yet finishes with the efficiency of a drum. In the Mule Deer Hills, where every ounce on the belt matters and a sudden coyote can spook close, the Rapid lets me pack multiple reloads without the football bulges of hard plastic. For concealed carry in town, it vanishes entirely, granting revolver carriers parity with magazine carriers for discretion. That blend places it at the top of my recommendations whenever the question turns to real-world, everyday revolver reloads. And there you have it. 8 of the best revolver speed loaders you can actually carry without compromise. Some are lightning fast, others carry like they're not even there, and a few do both surprisingly well. Regardless if you run a 6-shot 357 in the woods or a snub 38 in the city, there's something here that should suit your style. Let us know in the comments which one caught your attention, or which ones you already trust. Hit like if you found this helpful, share it with your range buddies, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive gear review. Thanks for watching.